Peter Obi is begging kidnappers. I repeat, Peter Obi is begging kidnappers in Anambra State to release a reverend father that was kidnapped, a 75-year-old reverend father, Archbishop Emeritus Godwin Okpala, a respected man in Anambra State, kidnapped by kidnappers. He has been in kidnappers' den for the past 10 days. And we have a chief security officer in the person of Soludo. Soludo, many people in Anambra, indigenes of Anambra, are complaining about the insecurity. And this is not IPOB or Samanekwa or ESN. This is normal criminals in the state. What should be the responsibility of the governor? We have said it when Nnamdi Kanu was arrested and incarcerated. People took advantage of the fact that he was arrested and he sits at home, and they are perpetrating all manner of crimes. These guys are not IPOB. These guys are not ESN. These guys are just criminals. Why is it that Soludo cannot do his job as a governor and make sure that these guys are fished out and they face the wrath of the law? Make Anambra a peaceful state. Make Anambra a peaceful state. Shebi Samanekwa is in incarceration, is in prison, is going to face the law in Finland. So who else is now committing all these atrocities? It now takes a P2B to start speaking up. When we have a governor, we know how Soludo attacked P2B's ambition to become president. We know how he is gradually forming an alliance with the APC. Almost all the governors are forming alliance with the APC now. Look at Delta State governor coming openly to talk about Tinubu and his government. That Tinubu is in the national level, he is in the center. When the PDP and Labour Party are no more functional, no opposition party. So the same Soludo is forming alliance. He is forming a good boy for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because all these people are concerned about their personal interests and personal ambition. They are not concerned about the security of the state. If you see, if it is their children or their friends that is being kidnapped, they will find solutions. That is the irony of the whole thing. If it's Soludo's child or his friend's child or those his political allies, their children that is being kidnapped, they will find solution. They will know where the person is. But this is a reverend father. Reverend fathers in the southeast are well respected. Nothing should happen to this reverend father, because it will cost Soludo his second term. That is a sure thing. I assure Soludo that this man of God, Archbishop Emeritus Godwin Okpala, if he's harmed, if these kidnappers harm him, and something happens to him, whether he's in bondage or in their den, it's going to cost Soludo his second term. Look at what Peter Obi said. He said, I once again appeal. He has appealed to these guys first time. We should not be in this situation begging kidnappers. What is the role of the security apparatus in the state? What is the role? It is because of the failure of the government that we have ESN going into the bushes and chasing away Fulani, because of the failure of security in the southeast. Whether the security, they are dormant, whether the security, they don't know their job, whether the security, they are part of the criminal activity. Because we have seen reports and news whereby the police get involved in kidnapping. Police give uniform to robbers. Police give guns to, even army give guns, supply bullets to bandits and terrorists and Boko Haram. That is the Nigerian security apparatus aligning with criminals. We have seen various instances where these things are happening. Because of the failure of security in the southeast, that's why you see these groups are formed. If the Nigerian army, the Nigerian police, were doing their jobs, not allowing these Fulani herders go into farms, destroy crops, and kill, rape, and kidnap at Lokpanta in Abia State, inside the forest, they saw bones of human beings. What are the bones of human beings doing inside forest, close to where these Fulani guys sell their cattle? rear and sell their cattle market or whatever. Inside the bush at the back, you see bones of human beings buried. If not the failure of the security in the southeast, we will not be stressing ourselves, but because the security have failed. Now, if somebody decides to take up responsibility of making sure that kidnappers are no more in the southeast, like the way ESN took responsibility, BLA are doing in the southeast, chasing away the Fulani, chasing away people that are committing all sorts of atrocities on southeasterners. The government will now know that they need to do something. They will now use their own. Because I was wondering, ESN they were chasing away Fulani, criminal Fulani headers that were within AK-47 in the bushes, but the army were giving them cover. I remember a massacre in the Middle Belt where Fulani people were threatening a sect. After killing, they were being shielded by the military. See that thing, Anambra Kamisio. It makes me want to get crazy. We have a governor, we don't know what he's focusing on. We don't know the first 4 years what he has done. Ordinary security. People now want to travel to the east. People want to go back to Anambra State to visit their parents, go to their homes, go to the east. But because of all this, since December 1st, the indigenes of Anambra State have been complaining over and over again in some local governments that these things are happening. Some guys are taking advantage of the Biafra agitation and whatever is happening in the southeast, or whatever the police is doing or the army is doing, to also kidnap people, because that's a room open for them to perpetrate their criminal activities. Because in every society, in every constituency, in every state, there are always criminals that are looking for opportunity to carry out their criminal activities. We are giving the governor 7 days to make sure that he fixes, make sure this man gets out of wherever bondage, wherever he's being kept, he must be brought out. Because I know if it's Soludo's daughter, he knows what to do. But these people, they are not interested in the welfare of the people. They're just interested in them being in power, accumulating unnecessary wealth to themselves, having authority and connections, putting their children. Look at Ibori's daughter. After ruling Delta State, he now positioned his daughter to be a lawmaker. That is their interest. Whether the community where they are representing, whether it is okay, that one does not concern them. So when they position themselves in power, they build houses, they carry women. That's all they can do. See, when I watched Tinubu presenting the budget, I looked at how he was speaking. I looked at the people in the house, the lawmakers in the house, and I asked myself one question. Bring all these people together. What have they invented in this life? Their policies over the years, most of them there, they have spent 20 years in the house. What has been their contribution to Nigeria as a country? They have spent 20 years, refineries are not working. We don't have stable electricity. We don't have standard roads. The roads they build, they spoil. We have had corruption, unprecedented corruption, stealing under their watch. What we have, these Oyibos inventing Facebook, inventing AI, inventing other technologies that makes life better, improving on agriculture technology, getting to discover new ways of living life better. But these ones are just there to consume. These ones are just there designed to just consume and consume, nothing added to life. When you look at the whole of Nigeria, none of these regions have invented anything that we are using in the world today that will say we made the world a better place by this is what we invented. Nothing. They are just consumers and parasites. I'm talking about everybody joined together, because things that other people are living, other people have left behind, that's what we are struggling with. Kidnapper. Just hear that in the United States or in these top European countries, kidnapper will kidnap somebody in the same sovereignty repeatedly. Look at the monies collected as ransom, 85 billion in the southeast. So we have not gone past all these petty, and somebody is calling himself a Professor Soludo, and you are speaking BB grammar that is not even your language. Your Igbo language is not that updated and developed. We are losing most of our culture and heritage. All you know is to speak BB grammar to bamboozle people to think that you have sense. The worst governor ever in the history of Igbo land, that is Professor Soludo. Security is bad, and you are coming out to say that Nnamdi Kanu'S release will not bring peace to the southeast. What are you trying to imply? We have said it that it is politicians. The politicians are the ones responsible for the carnage that is happening in the southeast. You cannot separate politicians from what instability, the insecurity. You cannot separate politicians, because politicians usually thrive when there is division. If Imo State there was no instability or insecurity crisis in Imo State, Hope Uzodinma will have not won 27 local government. That is sure. A Hope Uzodinma will have not won 27 local governments. He took advantage of the fact that there's crisis, there's chaos in the state, and he did all his bracadabra, and he won 27 local governments. Somebody that the people detest won all the local governments. The more you look, the less you see. These governors, especially Soludo, let Soludo be taught a lesson. If you're an Anambra indigene, you people should rally around and make sure that you stop this man from coming second tenure. It is your responsibility to make sure you stop him. He knows that he does not have the mandate of the people. That's why he's aligning with the APC. We know his moves. He's aligning with the APC, with Tinubu, because they know that the system that works is that anybody in charge of INEC can Maradona you, can do anyhow. Tinubu, that after what he did in Edo, after what he did in Ondo State, governors are now afraid, are trying to, yes, paddy with the center, so that in case they will have a green light, so that they will not rig them out, because they know that the system is not working. The system is bastardized. The system is bastardized. I sorry. The southeast, we have made up our mind. Nobody is going to stop us from developing our region. No amount of kidnapper will stop us from developing our region. Whether the kidnapper is in form of a uniformed man or non-uniformed man or unknown gunman, whoever you are, if you're a criminal in the southeast and you continue in your criminal activity, things are going to happen to you. This is not mincing words. Things are going to happen to you. And there are different ways of reconciling people back to their God. Things are going to happen to you. A whole presidential candidate, P2B, is begging kidnappers while we have a chief security officer of the state. A 75-year-old man, you are holding that person because of what? Igbos are not known for such habit and attitude. Igbos value human life. Igbos don't share blood. This is not an Igbo thing. That's why when we see the legacy, the militants started all this kidnapping. They started all this kidnapping. Let's forget about the military. Let's forget about Buhari and the military when they were kidnapping themselves. But the militants started all this kidnapping. After the kidnapping, Boko Haram now picked it from them. Then the bandits did not. A legacy people are setting. Then the Fulani came from whatever, Futajalon, all those they are Boko Haram people, Fulani header terrorists, came into the southeast and continued kidnapping. So criminal elements saw that this kidnapping, and Nigeria Bureau of Statistics is trying to make it look like kidnapping is a business. Wow, 2.something trillion naira people paid as ransom in Nigeria. If I were the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, I would have not published that, because you are giving credence for people to still go into kidnapping because it looks like something that is booming. 2.1 trillion naira just within 12 months. Then you are encouraging people to go, without your statistics, you are encouraging some people to go into kidnapping because they see it as an avenue to make money, an avenue, an industrious avenue that is moving. Sorry for using the word industrious. A criminal venture that is moving, that they can use and make money. Why will you publish that 2.1 trillion naira? What kind of statistics is that? There are some statistics that is not supposed to be published. But yet, Nigeria is what it is today. You have the police. Police are even they are looking for Yahoo boys to extort. Their own is extortion. If it gets to a point, they get into all sort of criminality. People now are not at peace with the police. People even are at peace with armed robbers than police. I saw a video when they held on to somebody, the police, because they were with guns, wearing black shirt, black camo. You carry somebody into the bush, which is not a police station. You carry somebody into an uncompleted building. As a police, what is different from an armed robber or a kidnapper? Sometimes we shed tears when these things are happening, and people don't expect you to talk, to say the truth. People are recounting their experiences. All these legacy precedents that young people now that are watching all these things now, be surprised that they might pick up from it. The other time, Fulani kidnapped, I think, the Methodist or Anglican bishop and demanded 100 million naira around the axis of Abia State. So some other people have seen that, okay, we can still kidnap men of God. After Fulani set the precedents, useless and criminal legacy in the southeast under Buhari. Now these guys, whether I don't know, they just see it as a luxurious venture to make money, lucrative venture to make money. We are giving the governor few days from now, and we promise him, if this man is not out before Christmas, he's going to face the consequence of the Igbo people. We are much more united than ever before. We want to make Ali Igbo great again. We don't want people that will be used by the devil. If you want to be used by the devil, it's better you prepare yourself to go and meet God. We don't like people that will stop us from growing, because in the scheme of things now, we have so many enemies. The only thing we can do is to unite together and develop the Southeast region. Anybody that wants to stand in the way will be crushed. This is like an autopilot movement. Autopilot means no brake. As the train is moving, it's moving. As the ship is moving, it's moving. If you stand on its way, it's going to crush you. Young people, people abroad, in the diaspora, they are willing to invest in the Southeast and make sure the Southeast is viable once again. People are willing to relocate to the Southeast to make sure that they give economic power to that place. At least we won't leave other places and come to our place and will be killed and kidnapped. And we have people that are calling themselves governors. They deceived everybody, and IPOB supported him in his first tenure. That is Soludo. They deceived everybody. And IPOB stepped down and supported him. And this is what he has to pay. Even talking about Nnamdi Kanu, that I've said it, if you release Nnamdi Kanu today, these guys are in soup. These guys, they know what they are doing. Nnamdi Kanu said if he's left off the hook, give him 10 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever, 2 days, he's going to shut down criminal elements in the Southeast. He said it live. And it's not surprising, because I knew these governors are hypocrites. They will come out in a day and say, release Nnamdi Kanu. This same Soludo went to even visit Nnamdi Kanu to get sentiments from the Igbo people. Yes, he went to visit Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, he's a good leader. We never knew that these guys are vipers. So they will come to the front and say, release Nnamdi Kanu. They'll go to the back and tell, my Oga Tinubu, our president, if you release this guy, there will be more trouble. This guy will not drop agitation. He will not stop agitation for Biafra. So it's better he stays there. Unless he's going to sign and agree that if he comes out, he's not going to. If he doesn't agree, let him stay there. That is what they do. That is their. So, personal non grata in the southeast, Soludo, Uzodimma. Personal non grata. You can't fight the people. You can't fight the people. The Igbos are getting much more united now. With Tinubu's emergence as president has shown the true color of some persons. Igbos are learning their lessons. They are coming back to develop the southeast. And a big one for P2B, going about donating to education in the southeast, going to nursing homes, schools, and different organizations, donating to education. A big one to P2B. That is what we expect many other Igbo billionaires, both home and abroad, to start doing in the southeast. Come back home, return home, and plan on how you can make Igbo a better place. Forget Soludo. Soludo will be out of the picture if he messes up with his 75-year-old reverend father. If he messes up, he'll be out of the picture and he will be on our blacklist in Igbo land.